everybody, and welcome to Generally Speaking, the podcast that bridges the worlds of pop culture and personal development. I'm your host, Jennifer Snook. I am so happy to be here with you today. I hope everything has been going well in your world. Here is what's been happening in mine. Well, you guys, it has been a lot. It has been a wild few weeks, but we are finally getting settled in this house, and it feels good. It feels great to be back with you. If you happen to be watching this on YouTube, please make sure you reach out and smash that subscribe button. If you're listening on your favorite streaming platform, please make sure you go ahead and give us a follow. And now, before we get into it, let's get Christy on the line because I do not want her to miss anything. There she is. Hi, sweet face.
Hi, it's been so long.
I know, I've missed you.
Me too. I was a little rusty this morning. I'm in my son's room and I'm like, how do I do this again? But
I know it's been a minute. You know,
the background looks great.
Oh, well, thank you very much. The rest of the room is not done. Literally all I have done is the background, and I wouldn't even say that that's done, but it's a work in progress. There's just been so many moving parts getting into this new house. You know what I mean? Especially because I had to get rid of so much because of the mold. You know what I mean? You have to be so careful about what you bring into the house. So like, I'm still without a couch, which is not fun.
Oh, wow.
We have this amazing, huge television screen. It is possibly the biggest screen I've ever seen that's not in a movie theater. But we have no couch to watch it on. It's kind of, the family room is a little oddly shaped, so finding a couch has not been as easy as it has always been for me. But so anyway, I actually did just order a couch the other day. Like
nice.
2 days ago, and I'm actually very excited about it. But it makes me want to ask you this question. Have you ever ordered anything from Wayfair?
Yes.
Because that's where I ordered. I pulled the trigger on this couch that I fell in love with on Wayfair. It is so cute. I'm going to send you a picture of it right now because just so that you can see it. But one of the girls at work made me so nervous about ordering from Wayfair.
Because of the, wasn't there sex trafficking names or something?
Well, I don't know anything about that. She's just talking about the fact that none of the couches on Wayfair are comfortable. So that's all I want to know. I just want to know if it's comfortable. But look at that couch. Isn't that adorable?
And that's really cute. And pink?
Pink.
That's so cute.
It's more like rose or, you know, whatever they're calling it.
Yeah,
but to me, it's pink. And truthfully, I'm in my pink era, which I have been in. I've always been a pink girl, but I'm kind of reclaiming pink. I actually just bought pink sheets not long ago. And I feel like I've been with Mike.
I bet Mike loves that.
Hey, listen, I've been with Mike for so long, and I've always gotten very neutral stuff, so he didn't have to live in pink land. But you know what? I'm 52 years old. And if I want pink fucking sheets, I'm going to get pink sheets. And that's just the way it is.
Of course. And they don't care, right?
So not only did I get pink sheets, but I just turned around and got a pink couch. And I just feel like it's symbolic of me just kind of on some level doing exactly what I want to do. Yeah. And, you know, if he doesn't like the pink couch, then that's his problem, not mine.
Oh, we are with men that don't care about what they sit on. Behind our couch, I did a basket wall, all these different size baskets. And Mark sat down and went, and I go, you don't like it? He goes, I don't, what do I get to say? I love it.
You know what's funny? When we lived on Hastings Place, when we were kids, my mom had a basket wall with all different baskets behind the couch. And it is a thing now again.
Bohemian, right?
Bohemian. But I don't think my mom knew it was bohemian back then. We didn't call it.
Probably the style. It was the style.
It was just
the 80s.
Exactly. Now that style, the 70s style, is now called bohemian. That's cute. I heard your mom was just with you. How was that?
Yeah, so my nephew was visiting. He just left. He lives in Atlanta.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we just had him for the night. So
and how was your time with Barb?
Time with Barb was okay. It was good.
Yeah?
I try.
Well, that's
She
good.
said to say hello to you.
That's more than I can say for Cheryl, because my mom, she's not even talking to me because I said something she didn't like about her man.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about it, and I can't believe it's still going on. It's hard. I mean, mother and daughter dynamics.
It's just interesting. It's very interesting. Anyway, guess what? I got a call the other day from a friend of ours asking me to be a bridesmaid.
Carla?
Uh-huh. Our girl has set a date, and it makes me emotional. I'm telling you, there is something about this that makes me emotional, and I think it's because I feel like she is not getting married just to tick a box. You know what I mean?
Not.
No.
She is. When I saw them together, and I love Sparky. When I loved him before Carla, and him and Carla together, oh my God.
Right. I know. So I am just so excited because I feel like at her age, she isn't just trying to tick a box, and she is 52 years old and just wildly in love. And I am just so excited for her. So yeah, but it's so cute to be 52 and asked to be a bridesmaid. I'm like, oh, okay, bridesmaid. I don't even know if I remember how to do that.
Exactly. That's amazing. Is
But
it the wedding this year? The wedding.
What's that?
The wedding this year or next year?
This year, and in Gilroy, which I'm also excited about. They were saying that they were thinking about doing it somewhere else, but settled on Gilroy. And something I love about that.
Good.
So also huge news, probably the hugest news that's happened in my life in a long time. Do you know, every single time I go to the doctor, and every month when I go and get that 40-minute infusion, the nurse asks me, have you felt any improvement? They're always trying to gauge, am I feeling any improvement? They put me on stronger drugs and keep asking me the same question. Are you feeling any improvement? And it's been so frustrating because for so long, I haven't been able to say that I felt any improvement. Like, all I want to say was, yeah, this medicine's really working for me, finally. So get this shit. I have officially been out of that house for over 3 weeks now. And just a few days ago, for the first time in 10 years, I feel relief behind my eyes for the very first time. I've always said that when this started, it feels like somebody flipped a switch and started an engine, and the engine has never stopped going, just keeps producing this inflammation in my body, and especially in my head and behind my eyes. And nothing would turn it off. Well, guess what? I'm not shitting you when I tell you, like, I also would say to this woman, if I could only ever feel like 30% relief, that would be like such a huge win for me, even 30%. So my eyes weren't constantly feeling so angry with such pressure behind them. And guess what? I swear on my life, my left one, I would say right now, I'm at like 60% relief. And my right one, which is always heavier, is probably at like 50. Like, it's not like 100 yet, but it is the only thing. And all it took was moving out of that house. So, I mean, isn't that just insane? Moving out of that petri dish. That's the medicine. I mean, they wanted to put me on chemotherapy to keep because my numbers were so crazy and nothing else was bringing the inflammation down. And the only thing, like, I feel like even Mike looked at me and he says, I haven't seen your eyes look like that in so long, I can't even remember. Like, my whole face is less swollen. Like, even I can feel it, like there's an ease in my body.
Thank God.
It's unbelievable. I've called everybody that I love, and because everybody that it's been like the work of my life dealing with this inflammation every day of my life, and getting through it and centering myself so I don't let the misery of it overtake me. And I was just getting to the point where I thought that was going to be my life for the rest of my life. And then look, I moved out of that house. Anyway, truthfully, I said, as far as gifts go in my life, my awakening is always the biggest gift of my life. The second gift is my kids. And the third gift is this, because truthfully, this was 10 years of like living in this thinking I was never going to escape. And here I am, and I am just, I couldn't be
That
more
makes me
overjoyed.
so happy.
I'm
And
so overjoyed. I can't even tell you.
yeah, cheers to your good health.
Cheers, boo. Thank you.
I love you. I love you. That makes me so happy.
Makes me so happy too. Anyway, so let's get into it, shall we?
Yes.
So I was never, I think it's Nirvana, right? Is it Nirvana that Dave Grohl was in?
Foo Fighters.
Oh, Foo Fighters. See, I don't even know. That's not my music, you know?
Yeah.
It's just not.
My sister, the girls go to school with his kids.
Yes, because we see him around here all the time. He is like bebopping in and out of grocery stores. I mean, you see
Bebopping in the grocery stores. He's bebopping in people's beds. I mean, he's our age, I would think, or maybe a little bit older. Who has the fucking time to do, I mean.
Clearly he does. And clearly it doesn't take long.
Right? Yeah. Who has the time to do that? So yeah, he's fathering a child outside his marriage with a young girl.
Well, you know, we'll see how long that marriage can handle that. That's a tough one.
Well, now they're trying to throw the wife into the mix, saying that she's had.
Oh yeah, that she's been screwing the tennis instructor.
Give me a break.
So Dancing with the Stars just started. I love Dancing with the Stars, I have to say. I had a dance party with Jules just the other day when she came up to get her hair cut for the premiere. I love that girl.
Her hair looks great.
Doesn't her hair look amazing?
I love
because she's a 901 girl.
I love that. I'm really happy to see Phaedra. I love me some Phaedra.
I mean, who doesn't love them some Phaedra?
Right?
And I am so excited to see that little donkey booty of hers shake its way around the ballroom. I love her. I could watch Phaedra all day. She's one of those that could just read the phone book for me. She's that funny.
Yeah.
Truthfully, she's that funny.
Agreed.
Speaking of funny, you know who one of my favorite comedians is always? Martin Short. Do you know Martin Short? I mean, he's hilarious. Do you know who he is going out with, or all the talk that they're together?
Right. Meryl Streep.
I mean, is that not just the super, that's super couple shit right there, especially for our generation. Meryl Streep and Martin Short, come on.
Yeah. They were sitting next to each other at the Emmys. They're adorable.
Well, I know they're denying it. Right.
They're trying to say because they were in the same murder in the building.
That they're in the same show, but they're together like they've been seen other places.
Yeah.
And holding hands.
Yeah.
Hello?
I love it.
People don't just hold hands.
No.
And then what about the dirty Diddy of it all?
The dirty Diddy.
I mean, the dirty Diddy. I mean, the guy just had a God complex. That's the problem. Too much money, too much power.
Right. It's so much.
It's so much. It's so much. And the fact that he apparently plied people with so many drugs that they didn't know they were doing, and then used the footage as blackmail. I mean, that is some dastardly shit.
Totally.
Speaking of shady characters, did you hear that Louie's company filed bankruptcy?
I saw that.
Digital Media Solutions. Do you remember how many times did you hear Teresa talk about? She loved to talk about the fact that she was so impressed with Louie because his company was on the New York Stock Exchange. But it was like last year that his company got taken off of the New York Stock Exchange because they were doing shady shit and not meeting the criteria to stay on. And now they filed for bankruptcy. And apparently this is like the second year in a row that they've actually reported a net loss. So I don't know, you can say what you want, but the trajectory does not look good. I mean, there's nothing good happening for that company. I haven't heard anything good happening. None of that's good.
No, not at all.
And now with Teresa not getting a paycheck, I mean, that hefty paycheck.
Right.
I mean, thank God she has turning the tables.
Oh, and she's doing the appearances in Miami, I think, soon.
I mean, but how many appearance? No, no
Exactly.
amount of appearances are going to bring in what that paycheck brings in.
Right.
And also, how long do you go without having a paycheck, a housewife's paycheck, before you start losing your housewife's clout, where they're even willing to pay you to come and do something like that? You know what I mean? She's
Yeah.
not going to be able to ride on that very long.
No, exactly.
She's like, I don't know what's next for Teresa, but I don't think it's going to be good. It's Louie. I don't know. And I mean, she's going to stay loyal to that guy, at least publicly, for a while. But at some point, can't turn away from the fact that he's the one that cost her seat at the table. He did. Right?
Yeah, they were exactly him. It was dark.
He was the game changer for her. Bravo doesn't want to deal with them.
Right. What he said about Margaret's son and other stuff last year with Bo Deedle.
The whole of it. And also you would think that he would learn. You would think that he would at least pull back a little, thinking, hey, let's keep our bases covered here and let's not get in too much trouble. He didn't care because he thinks that Teresa's untouchable to Bravo, but sorry.
Yeah.
She was for a long time, but not anymore. What's happening with Jax Taylor? I haven't paid any attention to him.
Jax Taylor is out of what he called his mental rehab. But what I heard is Brittany saw stuff on his phone from other girls. And people are saying he was in rehab for more than just his mental health. Because now he's posting everything about everything.
Sobriety.
Yeah. And just not sobriety, because he didn't go away for sobriety, right? No, he said he went away for his mental health. So he's trying to just say that I realize I'm a narcissist and la, la, la. And he's trying to paint a picture that they're co-parenting very well. He posted a picture of a lasagna the other day and said, when Brittany, I'll never give up. I'll never not take a free meal. Thanks, Brittany, for the lasagna. And he's just trying to, everything is just sunshine on his posts. But I cannot wait for the Valley to come out, because hopefully they have some of this on their footage.
They must, right?
Yeah, because it happened during, and she's getting her glow up. I think she just got an air sculpt body makeover.
Well, good for her.
Yeah, her revenge body.
I hope she does just kind of dial down and focus on herself, because I know he did a number on her self-esteem.
He's disgusting. She did say, I thought we would get to a point where I would go back to him, but she realizes, thank God, no.
Isn't it great? I mean, thank God she turned that corner. Because once you turn the corner and you see how, destructive and dysfunctional and toxic it was, you can't go back to that. You'd be like a crazy person.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm very happy for Brittany. And she's in the house that she had to leave when she left him, because he stayed there. And now he's out. She was running an Airbnb. Now she's back in the house and he's out.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So that's nice.
Great. And I feel like, hasn't she taken over their podcast?
Yeah, I sometimes want to listen to it. And there's, she'll post, ask me a question. And I think, you're not going to answer my question.
You know who I still have questions for? Ben and Jen, after that whole, I get taking the kids to lunch to keep things, cool between the family. And I really do. I get that. And presenting a united front. I don't get the kissing.
And the hand holding, and
I don't get that. Like that, what is that all about?
I don't either.
Because if you're really, again, turning that corner and moving down, friendship avenue and co-parenting avenue, you don't kiss.
No.
And especially in front of the kids, would you be trying to give them those mixed messages?
I know.
And they really talk about the fact that their kids are at the front of mind and they're really doing everything to keep them all in a good space about it. So why would they give those mixed messages?
I couldn't wait for you to talk about this, because you're the J-Lo love, and I don't know either.
I just thought that was incongruent. Like they really try and think about the kids' mental well-being, but they're kissing in front of them. If they're
they're at the Beverly Hills Hotel,
which is so high profile. Sorry, you don't go. If they didn't want to be seen, there were plenty of other places they could have gone.
Well, isn't there the McCarthy salad or something that's supposed to be so delicious there? She had
Just gotta go.
Yeah.
No, I know we will see. I mean, that's funny, right?
Yeah.
You never know. Look at me. I'm still holding out hope.
I know. I love that.
I really am. Did you hear that the whole world is in an uproar because Tay-Tay didn't go to her man's football game yesterday? And now and then there was a picture of him on the sidelines looking all forlorn and dejected. And now everybody's like, ooh, trouble in paradise.
Yeah, maybe because she was at a girls' weekend. Maybe she was somewhere else. You can't go to every single. Oh, and it wasn't home though. It wasn't.
No, it was in Atlanta.
That's exactly why she wasn't there. Maybe also because it wasn't. Give me a break, people.
I mean, it's not like Taylor Swift doesn't have a packed calendar.
Right.
Right? It's not like she doesn't have anything else to do. Sorry, sweetie, I'm going to miss one game.
One game.
Also, maybe he pissed her off.
Yeah.
You never know. Maybe I don't want to go to your game today. Maybe
he ordered pink sheets and she's like, what the hell's this? We're not in our pink sheet era.
Oh, that's hilarious. Did you hear, speaking of like near miracles, did you hear that the palace and Prince William sent Prince Harry birthday wishes? I mean, that was like a miracle in its own right. Happy to see it. So happy to see it. But yeah. I mean, there's again, hope. Let's see,
Yeah.
Come on. That Prince Charles, not Prince Charles, but the king, he doesn't want to die without seeing his kids hang out together again.
Exactly.
And somebody has to build a bridge, right? Shouldn't it be him?
Yes.
You would think.
Exactly.
Oh, P.S. TMZ hit me up again.
Yay! When are you going to do it?
I don't know. I haven't even responded to them, but
you will this week. I need to see it. We all need to see it.
Speaking of things that we need to see, did you see Alexis's latest post?
No.
Jesus Jug's latest post?
What?
Oh my gosh. She's too much for me.
Is this on her Instagram?
This is on her Instagram. Yes.
I don't follow her, but I will after we record today.
Okay. So Alexis posted a picture of herself, this very posed picture of herself. Alexis says, what we're seeing in her career is not real. It's not the truth. She says there has been so much left out intentionally to paint her in a bad light, but it's okay. She'll take one for the team for the ratings. She says, but I will live in my truth and I will bring the truth, whether I have to do it here on my Instagram page or if this career I choose decides to bring the truth out. And you will also see the true Alexis, because what you're seeing on TV right now is not me. I love you all, and I do not hate you for hating me, because I would hate you too if I were you. But just hang tight, because I'll be speaking the truth after every episode of what has been left out intentionally to paint me as someone I don't even know. It will actually intrigue you all. Live recaps coming soon.
Good. Looking forward to that, Alexis. Give me a break.
So now all I can see is a podcast starring these two lovebirds.
Oh my God. I hope he wears the scarf he wore on Watch What Happens Live.
Yeah, did you see that? What was that? What was that whole look?
I mean,
I talked about it. I didn't want to go too hard, but honestly, he just looked disheveled and washed up. It was strange.
He looked like an 87-year-old woman in a leather jacket and a scarf. It was ridiculous. And she, when she said they didn't even record me, she's talking about her on the show. And she says, and they didn't even bring in the fact that my mom died. So she wants them to do more than, but you're just a friend. They're not going to do your whole
backstory.
No, she's coming after Shannon.
So I'm pretty sure they'll be calling their new show, Correcting the Record with Lexi and Johnny.
Is that what they are calling it?
No, I'm kidding. I'm just saying, I'm naming it for them.
You're predicting.
correcting the record with Lexi and Johnny.
Oh God.
Vicky has come out and said that she predicts that they will not get married. And I kind of agree with Vicky for maybe the first time in my life.
Because Alexis was engaged before for a while, after.
Alexis was in a long-term relationship. She was engaged to that guy. That's the guy that she went on Below Deck with.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then her mother died. And the reason why she broke up with that guy is because he wasn't there for her as much as she needed him to be when her mom did die. And then Johnny J swooped in.
Just happened to be at the quiet woman.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And he hates to be on social media. It's just.
Did you see how grouchy he was on Watch What Happens Live? He was just like, oh. And just
she told Andy. Andy says, well, can I call you Johnny J? And he says, no, it's John Jansen. So Andy kept calling him Johnny J. And she says, Andy, you got to quit it. He's not going to want to be engaged.
He just has no sense of humor. The guy has no sense of humor. He never has. And he sits there and he sat there on Watch What Happens and opened his mouth and said those words. Well, when she says, what Andy says, so I've gotten a lot of questions about why you guys didn't accept that non-disparagement agreement with Shannon. And she turns to him and says, do you want to answer that? And he goes, do you want me to? It was so awful. And Andy goes, yeah. And he goes,
right.
Well, why would I sign something? Well, she's been disparaging me for almost 5 years. But the truth is, she hasn't disparaged him for 5 years. She was doing nothing but protecting his ass for 5 years.
Yeah.
If anyone said anything about John, she came at their neck.
Yeah, exactly. And he's coming after her. If he really wanted this to be done, he would say, I wish her well. But no, he's holding these tapes or these videos over our head. And, so now it's making us question what's on these tapes, especially he's saying that she almost ran over her daughter. Her daughter could have been just standing there saying,
right. Oh, his daughter. Yeah.
His daughter. Right. Yeah. So it's making us think the worst, that she's behind the car. And
no, it truthfully feels like a money grab. It just bottom line feels like a money grab. It's horrible. Yeah. And he sits there and worries about his reputation and Shannon ruining his reputation. The only one ruining John Jansen's reputation is John Jansen by acting like such an idiot.
Him and Alexis.
It's disgusting. Also, I thought we should shout out. Do you watch $1 Million Listing?
I love $1 Million Listing.
I just think we never talk about it. And I just thought it deserved a shout out because that show is so freaking good. I mean, I can't get enough of that show. I love it.
I met Josh Flagg a year ago in Napa. Mark and I were having lunch. We went to a wedding and I saw him walk in. And I didn't think it was him because he was wearing a flannel. And I thought, that's not him. But he had Yves Saint Laurent shoes on. And I call in my bestie. She goes, get over there and talk to him. And I almost threw up. I have a selfie with him. I don't even know how to do selfies. But
that's hilarious.
When I watched the $1 Million Listing, him and Bobby were fighting. And so he was at the bar getting away. Because he was there with Josh and Heather.
He really does drive that convertible old whatever it is,
Bentley or whatever.
Yeah, you see him pull up to an intersection. I'm like, oh, there goes Josh Flagg. He just looks like
love him.
He's hilarious.
Yeah,
he's hilarious, and they are the whole Josh and Heather team killing it in OC. I mean, they're just beasts, absolute beasts. Speaking of the OC, let's start there. The show this week starts with Gina going over to Shannon's with stolen citrus.
To Shannon's new farmhouse that looks like everyone else is on the street.
I mean, my God, did you see that? I know, literally. Front desk girls. I really hate it when I get texts from work while I'm.
Yeah, that's all right. I got.
So yeah, she goes over there and Gina's in full realtor mode. She tells Shannon, Katie was saying that Gina only hangs out with Heather because of her connections. you know, she was telling her about everything that went down after she left and that next day that they had and that fight that went down at the table because Katie told everyone that Gina said that she was only friends with Heather because of the connections, which I cannot imagine sat well with Heather.
Oh, right. And I think I like Katie. The more I see her, I like Katie.
You think you like Katie?
I like Katie. The more I see her, I think she's great.
There's something I really like about Katie too. I think she's really bringing I think she brings a nice balance to the show.
Yeah. And I don't know the Gina thing. I like her.
Well, the fact is, I would really like to know if Gina said that about Heather. You know what I mean? Or because if Katie just said that, that's not cool. Either she said it or she didn't. I don't think that's the kind of thing
I
you
don't
would make up.
Right. Or I don't know, but I don't see her. Who says that?
But if she didn't say that, then why would she repeat it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I kind of want to get to the bottom of was that said that Gina only keeps Heather close for her connections? Because either that's really shitty for her to say, or that's even shittier for Katie to make up.
Right.
So anyway, then we're at coffee with Katie and Jen and Emily, and they're commiserating about their kids. Katie tells the girls that she hasn't heard from Gina since their disagreement. Back at Shannon's, Shannon tells Gina that John is just bottom line trying to extort her, that even the attorney has now come out and said that John wants some kind of insurance in case Shannon goes off the rails. So
what is she gonna share?
Off the rails, like what? Like what is she gonna start talking about his scrotum or something?
Yeah, she's been off the rails and now she's normal and back. And
right. I would venture to say that she's more balanced now than she's been, at least from what we can see. I'm not saying she's great, but I'm saying she's not all over the place. I think because she did trying so hard to prove that she's not all over the place. So she's really minding her P's and Q's.
Exactly. And drinking less.
Yeah. Then Emily asked the girls their opinion over what went down in Sonoma with the clothes.
Can I just say they were not in Sonoma. They were in Guerneville. Guerneville is not Sonoma.
Not Sonoma. I know. But not everyone knows that.
But us girls that are from the Bay.
I know.
That is not Sonoma, Heather.
Maybe it was like the Sonoma chapter for the Alliance. Who knows?
No,
people wasn't. Just know where Sonoma is than Guerneville.
Right.
But It was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Like it is. So when they're there, that's when Emily brings up the whole clothes thing.
The sizing of the jeans.
Yeah, the sizing of the jeans.
Everybody was asked to bring a pair of leather. Was everybody asked to bring a pair of leather pants and Emily was just asked to bring jeans?
No.
Everyone was given leather pants.
Everyone was, I think.
And Emily was asked to bring a pair of her own jeans and nobody else was in jeans.
Right. Emily says that she went to the bathroom and cried because she felt excluded. She thinks that Heather still looks at her like the big girl, even after she's worked so hard on herself. And then Emily asked them if she's being unreasonable, to which Katie says, you feel how you feel. You can't help that. But I really hate when people say that, because the last thing that she needs to be doing is just saying, this is how I feel. This is how I feel. Instead of saying, hey, maybe this wasn't intentional, and staying rooted, you know what I mean, in the right things.
Right.
Not letting the fear.
Don't make assumptions.
Don't make assumptions and then put an engine behind those assumptions. And then suddenly, sorry, I can't help it. I can't help it. Yes, you can. Get in front of your thoughts. You don't need to go down that dark road.
Right.
Just because you feel it doesn't mean it's true, right?
Right.
So ridiculous. I hate it when people say that, but you feel how you feel. You can't help that. Yeah, you can. And that's the joy of life, when you can actually start moving your emotions and shifting yourself out of a shitty spot. You don't just sit there and build on it.
No, that book, The Four Agreements,
Yeah, it's huge.
It is huge. And
It's
the first
huge.
one is don't make assumptions. And to learn that in life
and to put it into practice
is amazing.
And it's okay to say, I felt that, but that's when you have to then check yourself.
Check
you
yourself.
feel it.
Exactly.
And then that feeling is like the red flag. Wait a minute. Why am I feeling that? I know this isn't true. And then you just dial down and root yourself in your truth, which has nothing to do with that. It's sad.
Exactly.
Then we're at Heather and Terry's house getting ready for the GLAAD Awards, which is such an incredible event.
Yes.
But truthfully, my favorite part of that scene, I don't know if you saw him, but did you see Heather was getting her hair and her makeup done in that scene? And her hairdresser is Flo, who is just my love. He is a senior stylist at 901 and just the love of my life. And he is amazing.
I need to come visit.
Yeah, you really do need to come visit.
You're surrounded by greatness.
Heather's hair is amazing, and because it is in such good hands with Flo. And truthfully, have you seen Shannon's hair? She needs to get into the salon too.
What about Alexis? Really? Talking about the worst extensions in the world.
I know.
That's a whole other.
I know. Then we go with Katie and her daughter to a candle making class where they meet up with Tamara and her daughter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, Tamara and Katie together, they have a lot in common.
Yeah. And their kids.
I like the two girls together.
I like the two girls together too. Then Tamara asked Katie about her son who lives in Georgia. Katie says it's so hard to have him live there. And she says, but if she can watch his plane fly away 4 times a year, then she can do anything. And as she's saying that, I'm sitting there choking up, just imagining it. Like, I don't know, like brutal, absolutely brutal.
If that's what makes him happy, it has to make her happy. But I know, same thing. And
she's right.
For sure.
She's right. But that doesn't mean it makes it any less brutal for a mom's heart.
Exactly.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Tamara tells the girls that the moral of the story is to be very careful about who you procreate with. And I have to say, not wrong.
Yeah. But Tamara giving advice on anything just makes me go, ugh.
Well, at least, but the truth is when you live through it, you come out on the other side with a different perspective. And so maybe now Tamara can say that, yes, the person you choose to be the father of your kids is probably the most important decision you'll ever make.
Right.
I stand by that 100%. Then we're on the road with the Dos Amigos. And Doug
Buden, who's always on Jab.
Yes.
I love Doug.
I'm telling you, you couldn't pay me to go see that tap dancing twosome.
Listen to me. My best girlfriend is, Jeff Lewis, and you pay them to have dinner with them. Jeff charges $10,000 to go have dinner with him. And Doug Buden charges $2,000 to have dinner and $1,000 for breakfast. And my bestie is looking into this because we love Doug. And he said to her, well, listen, I'm going to be at, the Dos Amigos if you want me to comp you a ticket. And her and I both said, I don't think that's a good idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She's like, no, thank you. I'll just have breakfast with you.
So she got the breakfast. She paid $1,000.
She's going to have breakfast because she's going to have breakfast with him. She's DMing him as these last few days.
That is hilarious.
But I love him. But
I love that.
The show looks
ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Sorry. Then Jen sits down with her son, who clearly doesn't want to be there. She asks him why he comes home so late, and he says that he's sitting in his car because he doesn't want to come in the house. Imagine that. Your son says, oh, I don't come in until midnight. I'm just out there sitting in my car.
Right.
Dawson says he doesn't feel like his space is respected and he's more comfortable at his dad's house.
Yeah. And now I'll bet, he's never been disciplined, right?
Right. Well, I mean, you should start before they're 17.
Exactly. Now there's new
Start
rules.
there.
Right.
Back at the comedy club, Shannon and Vicky order a shot and a sip of tequila. And then Shannon goes on to tell the audience about her DUI and the horrible mistakes she made. And then she has another sip of tequila.
And says, well, I'm not driving.
Yeah, that's Vicky's thing. Well, she can
Vicky.
still drink. She just doesn't drive anymore.
Right. Right. Which is great.
Well, it's better than drinking and driving. We got to say, some people got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
Then we're at Ryan's house for Jen's party. All the women arrive looking very fancy. Alexis is the last one to get there. And after she sits down, Heather thanks her for, coming to the event and all that. But then goes on to say, I wish you would have brought John with you because he's really so supportive of you. And
the face that she made.
What? See that?
Right?
What the hell was that? Did you
that?
see it? She was like, she started twitching out like she's so awkward. I'm telling you, that girl. So then she I don't know what the word is, confused. Like, what did she look? She just started twitching, looking confused. And then she started to look like she was gonna cry. She was just all over the place.
I was surprised he wasn't there when they showed her in the audience.
Well, he wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't. And clearly it struck a chord with her because she's sitting there spazzing out about it. And then all the women are like, what's going on? What's going on? And she's not saying anything. She's just sitting there looking like she's traumatized inside.
Right.
Then she goes, she's hesitant to respond, but then she goes, but since you guys are my true friends, I can't fake it with you girls. And everyone's screaming, what happened?
Right.
Then Tamara says, is it a Shannon thing? And Alexis says, it's all a legal battle, period. She says to Gina, can you see how much I'm hurting? Can you see it? Alexis says, I'm dying. I told Johnny we weren't supposed to meet this soon. We were supposed to meet 6 months later.
I can't believe it.
This wasn't supposed to happen right now. I just lost my mom. I broke up with my fiance. This is more than I thought I was going to take on, and the baggage that's coming from his ex-relationship. She says it's everywhere she goes, and she just doesn't know how to get out of it unless she just walks away from it. But breaking up with John is not an option, she says.
Right. Yeah. And she is just his voice.
And I think also he is her security blanket. And I think that like maybe in her head, she knows that this is all happening too soon, but she was so wounded and needing someone to, you know what I mean?
And he was there with open arms.
And he was there with open arms.
And she has to do all of this, all his dirty work. She's just doing all his dirty work.
Well, and I'm sure I don't think this is what she bargained for. Now the entire cast is looking at her like, why are you being such a complete bitch to Shannon? And she's like, I didn't sign up for this. She probably didn't. She was like, I thought I was going to come back and have fun.
Yeah. And be the good guy because we did like her. Right. I've always liked her. She's been very funny and now she's the villain.
And proving that she is at every turn. And the girls play Truth or Dare Jenga style, and Katie shows Tamara her butthole. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Not once, but twice. She showed her butthole. Now, I'm sorry.
Who wrote that?
I don't know. I do a lot of things, but I would draw the line there. You know, I mean, we peed in a parking lot. You know, we've done shit like that.
That's one of my favorite pictures. Our class reunion, me peeing in the parking lot and you're kneeling right next to me.
Just for solidarity. And it's so funny. I've showed people that picture before and they go, you're both peeing? And I said, no, look, she's peeing. It hasn't even hit me yet. I'm just standing in solidarity.
Yes.
Squatting in solidarity. Then Tamara says that her butthole is beautiful. She said something like that, and it's beautiful. But I'm sorry, there's no such thing as a beautiful butthole. No. Right? Don't you think?
No.
Beautiful buttholes don't exist.
Waxed and bleached? No, thank you.
I don't care if it's waxed and bleached and polished with glitter. I'm sorry. No, thank you.
Exactly. Tamara's drunk. Tamara just keeps getting drunker and drunker. Yeah, she was. You can see it in her face.
Oh my God. Then Tamara asked Heather when her clothing line is coming out. And Heather says it's not really a big deal. Then Emily pipes up and asks Heather if she can ask her a question, to which Heather says, sure. And Emily says, look, I keep taking my glasses on and off because a little bit, even my vision is improving because of the lack of swelling behind my eyes,
Nice.
a little bit. So I'm really trying to see. I love this.
I love it too.
To which Heather says, sure. And Emily says, so when you ask for our measurements, because she's from Ohio, remember? So it's measurements.
Oh, right.
You asked me to bring jeans, and I thought everyone was bringing jeans. And what bothers me and what hurt me is that when we all walked out in the end, I was the only one not wearing anything by Susan Bender. I had to bring my own pants. And then she tells her that she actually went into the bathroom and had a moment and cried because she felt singled out. She said she felt like she was the only girl who couldn't fit into the clothes. And she said to Heather, it really killed her.
Yeah.
And Heather can't believe what she's hearing. You can see just the horror on.
Right, because she didn't do anything.
No, absolutely. Heather was not intending to do anything that would hurt Emily at all. Heather says, I'm so sorry you felt like that. I only wanted to make you feel like a star. And I believe that. I believe Heather is trying to make everyone feel like a star. I really do.
Same.
And Emily even says, I know you would never maliciously try to hurt me. So that is, again, exactly where it should end. If you know that, then that's what you have to keep dialing down on. And she keeps trying to bring this topic up with Heather. But sorry, this is an issue you should be bringing up with your therapist or your life coach to try and shift your mindset. Because if you can in your head realize that this was not malicious, then you need to be able to pull yourself out of that spiral.
Yeah.
And understand that those are wounds that you need to heal that really have nothing to do with Heather.
And she does know this because in the episode before that, she was triggered. And she said, it was about her mom issues and she knew it and she worked through it. So she has the tools. She just has to get a hold of herself.
Yeah, she's just allowing herself to fall back into fear instead of root herself in faith and love and lean forward into the light. But it takes practice. You got to build that muscle.
Exactly.
But Emily doesn't drop it. She goes on to say, I didn't even feel good in that dress because Alexis was in the same dress. And
right. Right.
To which then Alexis takes personal offense and decides to insert herself.
Yes. Like, what are you talking about?
What? Is she insane?
Yeah.
And Emily shoots back, I don't even know why you're talking. And I was like, go girl, I don't know why she's talking either.
Right.
But Emily is just not letting it go with Heather. Heather says to Emily, then Heather says to Emily, listen, I've apologized. I said all those things, but you keep coming after me. And Alexis says, she did apologize. Emily says, shut up, you wackadoodle.
Yeah.
You've been a wackadoodle all night. And suddenly it is complete chaos.
I feel like, yeah, that's misdirected. She's just
desperate for attention. Like, what in God's name why is Jesus Jugs even why is she talking at this point?
Right.
It's unbelievable. Then a few minutes later, Emily goes back up to Heather and tries to bring this conversation up again. And they go back and forth. And then finally, Emily just goes, fuck you, and walks away because she feels like Heather's not hearing her. But Heather did hear her. She heard her.
Emily was drunk too. If you look at their faces,
And not just drunk, but on testosterone pellets.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm telling you something. I remember one time some doctor gave me something with testosterone in it. And I remember feeling like a dragon. Like, I'm not kidding. I was like breathing fire. Like
Yeah.
it is, there's some like aggressive energy. I remember it putting like an aggressive energy, and I was like, somebody, you guys get out of my way. This is dangerous. I did not like that at all. At all.
Yeah. The pellets.
The pellets. Heather says, I said all those things, but you keep coming for me. And Alexis says she did apologize. A few minutes later, Emily tries to talk with Heather again, but Heather is hesitant because she feels like she got unfairly attacked. And as much as I love Emily, and I do love Emily, I don't agree. I mean, I don't disagree. Because if I was Heather, I'd feel attacked too.
Right.
I mean, how could she not? Heather asks Emily to stop talking, and Emily tells her to fuck off and walks away. Back to the other woman talking about how Heather won't talk to her now because she's pissed. And without missing a beat, Jesus Jugs pipes up and says,
oh God,
I am at my lowest point right now. Right. And you say, how dare they put me in a dress next to Alexis? And everyone is screaming at Alexis, what are you talking about? That's a compliment.
Yes.
And then Alexis says, I'm already broken. I'm a broken bird. I'm a broken bird. It's just she is
me, my eye. Yeah.
Ooh.
She is broken.
She is broken, but I feel like she's always been broken. Then Tamara says to Heather, you did nothing wrong. This is not okay. And the two of them walk into the house together. Then Gina goes over, gives Emily a hug, and the two of them decide to leave. But before they reach the door, they run across the other women, and Emily says to Heather, you don't have to look at me like that. And Heather says, I'm upset. To which Emily responds, well, I am upset too. And Heather says, I didn't do anything to you, Emily. And Emily says, I didn't say that you did. And then Alexis chimes in again. And Emily just wasn't having it at this point. And she turns to Alexis and lets loose. Did you hear that?
Yes.
She says, Alexis, you are not involved in this. You're a friend. I mean, and is in Housewife land, isn't that like the ultimate diss? You're a friend.
Right. Like you're saying too much.
Yeah. And then she tops it off with, just shut the fuck up and go fuck John some more, you fucking idiot. And I've never loved her more.
I mean, I love Emily.
I mean, I love Emily. She is the best.
Drunk Emily, there's nothing like it.
Nothing like her. Okay, so then moving over, so that was that episode. I don't know how many we have left. 2, I think. I
don't either.
We're rounding the corner.
We are?
I don't think there's too many more left. You know, it's going to be so interesting to see if they bring Alexis back next year.
Right.
Do you think they will?
What else does she, I mean, she brought nothing.
Well, she brought Johnny J.
She did bring Johnny J, but
she brought Johnny J, and if you bring Johnny J into Shannon's world, you have insta drama.
We'll have to see if they do go on with the wedding. You know, I'm sure they would keep that.
If she dumps, I think she has to dump him to stay on the show. No, I think she has to stay with him to stay on the show. I think that if she were to dump John tomorrow, she wouldn't be back.
Right.
Just my take.
Yeah.
Okay, over to Salt Lake City, baby. It is back.
Salt Lake City, baby. With
it is back.
The music that they always start with is
just exactly. I gotta say, the season 5 premiere started the same way season 4 ended, in just the most dramatic fashion. I mean, did you see the way they led into it all?
Amazing, with the Trixie monocle music. It's so good.
It's so good. It's so good. And even though Monica is not with us this season, which I'm so bummed about.
I know.
She is still very much on everyone's mind.
Yeah.
I mean, do you see they flash back to her so many times?
Right.
Before they even started, it was so much Monica that led into.
She's watching this season going, you guys made a mistake.
And we start with hypocritical Heather talking about how this show forces them to be transparent and share their lives.
Right.
Mind you, she might look like a different person, but she's still the same person that lied incessantly about that black eye and even went on to imply that maybe production had something to do with it when clearly they didn't. And she knew that all along.
I know. She does look great, though.
She does look great, except a little bit. She needs to be careful that she doesn't start looking like Madam. You know who I mean when I say Madam? You know
the cartoon character.
Yeah,
the puppet.
The puppet.
Oh my God.
Because
yeah, she could. She's on a slippery slope.
She needs to be real careful. She looks great, but
Google the Madam puppet.
Yeah, exactly. So also what annoys me about Heather is that she has all these very high standards for everybody else that I feel like she fails to meet herself. So she holds every one of these high standards, but what she can do that. She can hold Monica, you know?
Right.
She can pin Monica to the stake, but she can pull all the shit that she does.
Yeah.
Anyway, the show picks up with Lisa Barlow lording over her Galentine's event that she is calling her Bezos party.
I love that name for it. I thought that was a great.
It was cute. It was cute.
The party looks like it's going to be great.
Also, but what about the fact that Lisa was the first to arrive, and I sat there thinking, outdoor, there's snow everywhere. I mean, and they're all in cocktail dresses.
And they're an equestrian center. They keep showing the horses. It's
I know there's two horses standing there. What, somebody just going to go for a ride?
Yeah.
Lisa is the first to arrive. She shows up with her sister-in-law, and she instantly starts straightening all the decorations out because, according to Lisa, she doesn't like angles, which I thought was kind of rich, given the fact that she always seems to have one, but whatever.
And her bottle's angled funny. So yeah.
Her Vita tequila.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lisa says she's excited to spend time with her friends so she can show them how much she loves them, some more than others. And then they cut back to Lisa chatting with Heather and Angie about the fact that she made a big decision and decided to go ahead and invite Whitney to the party, even after she was so upset about everything she heard that Whitney
on Nick Viles' podcast.
On Nick Viles' podcast. Yep.
She didn't really say that much. She just said that she didn't say that much.
Do you listen to that podcast?
Sometimes, if they have really good people on.
Yeah, I never have.
I have a few times.
Then all the women arrive. They start rolling up, and much to my surprise, did you see that super couple that rolled up together?
I mean, Angie and Mary Crosby, thank you, Mormons.
I mean, thank you, John Smith and all of your disciples for giving us this super couple that we didn't know we needed.
I wonder if, they became friends because Mary Crosby, it showed how they became friends.
Yes, because of the lipstick.
And then Mary invited her to Kathy Hilton's Christmas party. It's just amazing.
Hilarious.
I loved it.
Make that shit up. Not only do they roll up in the same car, but they roll out of the same car, holding on to each other and their matching freaking purses.
I know.
So hilarious. I mean, who knew? Yeah. And then in confessional, the producers asked Mary how this pairing even happened. And she's just, did you see her with her big eyes? Like, I don't even know. I don't even know how it happened. But like, she won me over. She said something, and it was, because
she told her you have a little lipstick on your teeth during the reunion.
Right. And so I guess that was like, she instantly trusted her after that.
Yeah, because then Andy asked her at the end of that reunion, and who do you like on the cast? And she said, well, I like Angie. And everyone's like, what? You ripped her a new one all season.
Yeah, but now they are besties, and I am here for it.
Me too.
Then Heather shows up in hearts because she loves the theme. Yeah. But then Lisa was very quick to tell her that this is not about a theme. This is about high fashion. Then Mary gives Heather a compliment for maybe like the first time ever. And Heather is completely sure that it has to do with the fact that she's carrying 25 less pounds around on her frame.
Of
But
course it is.
But she'll take the compliment however she can get it. And then we see a new woman walking in.
Bronwyn.
Yes, with the very big heart. And by big,
Sure.
we mean huge. Her name is Bronwyn, which does not bode well.
We need another Bronwyn.
I mean, for the love of God. But we have to give her some space to make sure that the name does not make the new girl. Because that first Bronwyn was painful, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She's one of the top 5 worst housewives in history for me. And you know, a name can ruin it for you.
Yeah.
Like the name Michelle used to be really tough for me.
Michelle?
Because of, yeah.
That's funny.
Did you have a name that you didn't like growing up because of an association?
No, but I wanted my name to be Michelle when we were at Glenview. That's
You
so
did?
weird. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm glad it wasn't.
Yeah. I wanted it to be that, but no.
So Lisa has known and loved Bronwyn for a long time. She thinks she's fashionable and fabulous. And I'll say she is something.
I'm excited about her.
Did you see when they cut back to that lunch that she had with Lisa? And she got out of the car that she drove in, and the car had 5 inches of snow on the roof. Meanwhile,
and she gets out in booty shorts.
Yeah, she gets out in leopard booty shorts, bare legs. I mean, dressed like her clothes came out of Kanye West's new wife's closet.
Exactly.
Right? She looked like Kanye's wife, 100%.
Yeah. In the snow.
Yeah. Bronwyn goes on to say that she's never felt sexy. She doesn't like to present sexy, that she prefers to dress like a Tim Burton character.
Yeah, I like it.
Then we cut to Whitney on her way to the party. She says to her friend that normally she'd be excited to see Lisa, but she knows that Lisa has a problem with her right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she gets there, Lisa looks over her shoulder and says, "Oh my God."
Right.
She actually showed up.
And then Whitney just walks to everyone else and doesn't even go straight to Lisa.
Whitney said hello to everybody, exactly, except her. Then Meredith says that she feels like Whitney is coming for her business. Then Heather introduces her new friend, Brittany, who is another messed up Mormon. But this messed up Mormon happens to be going out with Mormon royalty.
Osmond.
And
Osmond's nephew?
Yeah, Donnie and Marie's nephew. But apparently these two have only been going out for 8 months, but they've broken up 16 times.
16 times they broke up.
So apparently they're past the puppy love stage.
Yeah. Jeez Louise.
Do you remember that? Do you remember Donnie's big song, Puppy Love?
Oh, no.
You're welcome.
My first lunchbox was a Donnie and Marie lunchbox, and it wasn't hard. You could sit on it. It was in kindergarten. I wish my mother was here and I could have brought her in.
Oh my God. Imagine having that now.
A white Donnie and Marie lunchbox.
I never had a lunchbox. My mom was too cheap to buy a lunchbox. I just had brown bags. But I always wanted one. And I always wanted one with those thermos. And what about those kids that used to, like, their parents would put like soup in there. And I used to be like, what's happening in your life? Like, how does that happen?
Exactly.
Those were the same kids who had a soda wrapped in aluminum
and foil.
What?
Keep it cold.
I mean, I couldn't even get a Capri Sun. My mom was like, use the water fountain.
Yeah, exactly.
Hilarious. Then let's see, where are we?
So funny.
Then Bronwyn with the big heart sits down with Mary and they hit it off right away. They're talking, and then they're joined by Heather's new friend, Brittany, who tells Bronwyn that she loves her costume. She goes, "I love your costume, Bronwyn." But then Bronwyn, Mary took immediate offense.
Exactly. They're like, what in the world?
This is not a costume. This is high fashion.
And they had to point out that Rihanna has one. There's only 3 that are made of this outfit.
Right. The big heart.
The big heart.
She has one. I think Rihanna has one. And then where was the other one? Like in a museum or something?
Yes.
Then the three of them get into this whole conversation about who grew up with less money, and Mary ends up getting so disgusted that she walks away. But don't you have to say that isn't Mary Cosby so much more engaged this season?
You know, I wondered if production said to her, you need to start going to more things.
Well, I mean, let's face it, she was more engaged in this singular
in
episode
the whole last season.
than the entire, exactly.
I know, and I love it.
But I mean, I'm here for it because she's
hilarious.
She's hilarious. She's absolutely hilarious. Then we cut back to Meredith's new rental where Heather is sitting there next to her bedside. Meredith's talking about the fact that her boobs won't stop growing.
Yeah, even when she gets reductions, they still grow.
They're still growing. Yeah.
And they said that they've seen that this happens. Lisa Barlow chimes in and says, yeah.
Well, listen, I don't know about her boobs, but I will say that her lips don't stop growing. I mean, they don't stop growing at all. They're at the point where you look at her and it feels like it hurts just to look at her. They look like they're about to burst. Then back at the party, Lisa is telling everybody about Jack's trip, his mission trip.
His mission.
It seems like his mission is to find the best restaurants in Bogota.
Yeah. And he found a Michelin star restaurant. There's a Taco Bell. He goes to these high-end stores.
What would John Smith say? Then Meredith approaches Whitney at the party and says, "What's up with the bath bombs?"
Yeah.
What's up with the bath bombs? She is just so intense, that woman. And Whitney's like, what's up?
What the fuck are you talking about?
I know. And she is like, I've had bath bombs. The bath bombs are nothing new. And she's like, I never knew you had bath bombs. You're coming after my bath. You're coming after my this. You're coming at like everything. Everyone is always doing something to Meredith.
Right.
They go back and forth. And I got to say, I mean, how many times did we hear the word bath bombs? At least 50. Two of them are still going head to head. When Angie saunters over and says, Meredith, can I get a minute of your time?
This is amazing.
This was, I mean.
You know, I don't like a scroll, like Louie ruined the scroll for the Housewives when he did all his reasons why he loved Teresa. But when Angie.
Oh my God, I can't believe you just reminded me of that at the proposal, right?
Yes. Right? Remember?
Oh my God.
And then Meredith is like, what do I need to apologize for? And Angie pulls out a scroll.
Exactly.
I loved it.
So Mary says, Heather made me aware that you are wanting an apology. And I'm willing to do that. But first, I'd like an apology for a few things. And she drops that scroll. And there's a list of all of the things that she wants an apology for. And did you see the women? They're all looking on, just dying.
Like, what is happening?
Total disbelief. Total disbelief. Then it's time for dinner, and Mary Cosby ends up seated next to that girl that she ended up walking away from earlier.
And she says, oh God, I got to sit by her.
As Angie reaches into her purse for a lip gloss, Heather shouts out, don't bring out the scroll.
Yeah.
Which of course brings the scroll back up and the whole reason for the scroll. And then that just seemed to give Angie carte blanche to go on and on and on about the fact that allegedly last year Meredith told Monica to go after Angie's house.
Right.
And Angie is just not ready to let it go. She's like a fucking dog with a bone.
You rent your house and da-da-da. Who gives a shit if she rents her house, bottom line?
Who gives a shit? But I have a daughter. You can't try, make me lose my house. I have a daughter.
Take our home, right?
Exactly. She's not letting that go anytime soon.
And this dinner just turns into a level 10 at this point.
I mean, at a level 10. Because after Lisa thanks everyone for coming, she sits down in front of Whitney, who then takes the opportunity to say, what's wrong with you? Why are you so mad at me? And which of course was because of the shit that she apparently said on Nick Viall. Whitney says, listen, I wasn't talking shit about you. I was just explaining my own experience.
Right. That Lisa never takes accountability or whatever it was. It wasn't a major thing. And Lisa just doesn't have it.
She can't hear that.
No.
So because of that, shit goes sideways. And then there's Angie and Whitney going head to head against Lisa.
It was so crazy.
Then Lisa goes back full throttle screaming at them, don't lie about me. Don't lie about me. And then she even brings up that whole, you said I slept with someone that I didn't sleep with.
For the tickets, jazz tickets.
Which is hilarious because instead of just saying, you said I slept with someone that wasn't my husband, you said I slept with someone that I didn't sleep with.
Right.
Like maybe had they actually said that she slept with someone that she did sleep with, then what?
Right.
Whitney says, I haven't done anything but call you a villain, and I stand by that. And Lisa says, well, if you want me to be your villain, I'll be your villain.
Yeah, here I am.
Yeah, exactly. And Whitney says, Lisa, I am not a liar. Don't come after my character, Lisa. I have never lied. Which, of course, made Heather burst out laughing.
Right. Yes.
And she says, listen, I love Whitney, but this is what drives me crazy. And then Whitney goes on and makes the biggest mistake of the night.
Name one thing that I've lied about.
Name one thing that I've lied about.
Which opens a whole can of
everything that you've ever lied about.
Right.
And they just keep coming. The lies just come at her nonstop. All the women lobbed a whole laundry list of all the lies she's told over the years. And it was a lot.
They were all just coming after her.
I mean, I was surprised that she handled it as well as she did, honestly. Whitney asked them why they're all coming for her. And then Lisa says, I feel like you all come, like you come for us all the time. I feel like your healing journey has you chastising all the rest of us. And then Whitney says, well, now you're just weaponizing my healing journey against me. And Lisa says, well, you need to heal because you keep doing the same thing over and over again. And then Whitney says, you want to see the healed Whitney?
Right.
She says, you want to see the healed Whitney? And Lisa goes, yeah. Whitney flips her the bird. Like, you know what? It was so hilarious the way she did it. She reminded me of my mom when my mom tries to like flip the bird.
It's like a weird flip off.
It's just so awkward. Like my mom, like even when my mom says, fuck you, or like when the few times she says it, we all just start laughing. Because she just sounds ridiculous.
Right. It doesn't, yeah. It doesn't
Which was how Whitney's flip off kind of landed. She like,
yeah.
Fuck you, Lisa.
Right.
Like she rehearsed it at home.
Yes.
Fuck you, Lisa.
To the mirror.
Hilarious. Oh, I'm sorry. Fuck you, Lisa Barlow.
Yeah.
And Lisa says, well, then you can leave. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
And they're still screaming as she's getting up and walking away. They're still screaming, going back and forth. And did you see the two dudes that got hired to play music?
They didn't even know what to do. The musicians are like,
the poor musicians are like, get us out of here.
Yeah. And they're just playing music going, where are we?
So hilarious.
It was amazing.
So, I mean, I thought it was a great way to start the season.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
And I think that this Bronwyn is clearly a very colorful character. She doesn't come with the same punch that Monica does, but she's not threatening to them. And I think that's what they needed. Monica was too threatening to them. They didn't even know how to
maneuver that.
No, but it doesn't mean that Monica couldn't come back. I'd love to see her
walk into a dinner. Right?
Wouldn't that be amazing?
They should.
I would love that.
Yeah, getting rid of Monica was a mistake.
Huge mistake.
Yeah.
Huge mistake. And if they were going to hold her to some, she crossed a line, then where was that line? And why didn't Heather cross that line with her lies?
Right.
Right? Anyway, I'm excited about the season.
Me too.
I am so excited about the season.
New York is coming back October 1st, I think.
I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that. And then we have Beverly Hills, because Beverly Hills has been shooting for a while. And then we also have Atlanta, and we have Potomac. I know. We have to sit down with the schedule. I'm gonna have so much to watch.
I know. Thank God.
Okay, moving into, we have a couple questions from viewers.
Okay.
Sheila from Chicago says, I know you want Teresa to go, but who do you think should stay on New Jersey? And I think we've answered this before.
We have Margaret for sure.
But Sheila's asking now. So Margaret, we want Margaret to stay. I'd like Danielle to stay.
Danielle.
If I'm going to be completely honest, I think, and I would like everyone to stay except Teresa and Rachel Fuda.
Yeah, no Rachel Fuda.
I just think get rid of Teresa, get rid of Rachel Fuda. You can bring in another Spitfire, bring in somebody else, but I like the rest of the cast. I don't need Jackie. Melissa, I don't need Jackie around.
No, Jackie was just the friend, so
I don't need Jackie around either.
No, we need Melissa and we need Joe, because Joe comes with Melissa.
Right.
Who brings such goodness.
And I honestly am not against even Jen Aiden staying, to be honest, because I think I would like to see Jen Aiden without the comfort of Teresa. I would like to see who she is outside of Teresa's shadow.
Yeah, that would
be what I mean?
Yeah.
And also I'd like to see her try and readjust and create relationships with the other women that she's been so fractious with in the past because of her relationship with Teresa.
Yeah, her and Margaret are good sometimes, and her and Melissa too. So
yeah, exactly. And I'd like to see that.
Everybody but Teresa and Fuda.
And Jackie, the friend.
And Jackie.
Yeah. Then we have Candy S. Ooh, I wonder what that is. Candy S. We don't know where she's from, but her name is Candy S. And she wants to know, what do you think of Leah McSweeney's lawsuit against Andy?
I think she's just reaching. It's not gonna happen.
I think it's complete bullshit.
Yeah, nobody forced her to drink.
No one forced her to do anything. There's other people who have been on sober journeys and none of them would say anything like she's saying. I think that bottom line is, my true gut is that Leah McSweeney is an ambulance chaser. I mean, that's how she got the money for her first company.
Right, exactly.
And everybody knows that company has not been doing well for quite a while. And so she's looking for another, another boost in for her bank account.
Yeah, I'm not behind her on that.
I'm not behind her on any of that. I think it's absolute bullshit.
Which reminds me, I need to unfollow her and I'll follow Alexis. Because I see her. She shows, why are you
no, I definitely don't follow her. She's not my style. I think Leah is just absolutely reaching. I just don't think she has a leg to stand on. I think it's like she's one lone housewife on an island making this whole thing. And I mean,
yeah, they're sober. Margaret's sober. Candy's sober.
No one makes anyone do anything. That's the bottom line.
Exactly.
Bottom line. So take some personal accountability, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Anyway, babe, I'm so happy that we're back.
We're back.
I'm so happy that we're back. Too. It's been too long. I'm ready. I'm in the groove. I remember this, like summertime, even as a kid, there was no good TV on television. And that's the way it's been. We've had so little to talk about, but now everything is back. We're getting in the groove. I know. I've moved. My eyes are clearing.
That makes me so
I can see clearly now. Well, almost. I'm getting there. Anyway, I love you. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
On Instagram, Christy May's Garage.
Christy May's Garage, everybody. You know where to find her, the succulent queen of the South Bay. We have loved spending this time with you. If you have been watching this on YouTube, please make sure that you reach out and smash that subscribe button. If you've been listening to us on any of your favorite platforms, please make sure you give us a follow, give us a 5-star rating, share us with your family, share us with your friends. If you would like to reach me on socials, you can find me at This Is Generally Speaking on TikTok or on Instagram at the Jennifer Snook. If you would like to ask a question that you'd like answered on the pod, you can reach me at jennifer@jennifersnook.com. And if you'd like to get your hands on any of this cute merch that Christy and I have, I will leave the link down below in the description. Okay, everybody, have the best week. And until we are together again, stay rooted in love. See you next time. Love you guys. Bye, Chris. Love you, babe.